Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome, guys. My name is Zakat Zaman. This is Friday, bit of chat. Usually on Fridays, I just come on after Jummah for a little while just to catch up with you guys, see what's the latest. Today, I'm a bit late. Today, I actually went on a bike ride. So I did about 14 miles. A nice bike ride, alhamdulillah. And the weather's really good today as well. So, past few weeks, weather's been all sorts. So today, alhamdulillah, weather was good. Maji said, come on, let's go. That's why I look a bit sweaty as well. Drained and sweaty. Yeah, nice. So yeah, this has been Friday. Alhamdulillah, another nice, wonderful week. Hope you guys have had a nice week as well. So this week, it's been kind of like pot holiday as well. And that's why I haven't been putting up much videos this week. And we had the Hidayah as well. So Hidayah lesson, those of you guys who are interested in Hidayah lessons, you can send an email here and you can get access to the Hidayah lessons. Hidayah is not Nahu, it's Hidayah in Fiqh, Hanafi Fiqh, because some of you guys were asking, is it Arabic grammar? And no, it's actually Fiqh. Right. Do you still continue Kanz Zakat and trade? I've stopped that for a while. There wasn't much response for those videos. There was only like a few people that were, I think it'd be like one person that really kind of asked me about those. So this is why I put that on a hold and I focused on videos that are more sort of like there's more interest in. Yeah, so the ones there's more interest in, I try to make those more. But yeah, maybe Kanz of the Qaik in the future, I'll continue it inshallah. Definitely think it's something which I'd love to do the whole thing, just like the whole Quduri as well. But at the moment, yeah, it's on a bit of a hold at the moment. So yeah, so this week, like I said, weather has been all over the place. We've had quite strong winds this week, and so a lot of like trees have fallen and properties been damaged. Alhamdulillah, but alhamdulillah, I don't think anyone's really kind of been severely sort of like injured by it. If you have suffered from it, then put in the comments what's happened to you, what's happened with the strong winds. And inshallah, hopefully today it's also going to be Arabic podcast today, inshallah. So those of you guys who are up for it, inshallah, you can come, inshallah. Wa alaikum assalam, Yusuf Tariq Saab, ahlan wa sahlan. Pray you are well and ask that Allah bless you in all of your endeavors. Ameen. Jazakallah. Definitely, Yusuf. This weekend I'm a bit tied up because I've got a talk. Tomorrow I've got a talk, guys. If you guys are in Birmingham, I've got a talk at Ad-Duha Institute. So Ad-Duha Institute, I'll try to put up the poster on my social media for you guys. So I'm going to be talking about the miraculous language of the Quran. Yeah, that's going to be the topic, inshallah. Miraculous language of the Quran. So make sure you guys who are in and around Birmingham turn up, inshallah. I'll put up the poster later on my social media. Wa alaikum assalam, loyal follower, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Can you pronounce this dua from a hadith and translate it for me? Yes. Yeah, if you can give me the link, or I don't think you can put the link up, can you? Or if you can maybe email it to me. Yeah, if you email it to me, inshallah, and then I can check the link. So email me the link. This is the email, and inshallah I should be able to check it out, inshallah. Ahlan wa sahlan, Umran Ali Sahib. Kya haal hai? Khairiyat se hai? Everything good? Everything good in India? Wa alaikum assalam. Me, I wanted to ask, can you explain the grammar behind Allah being marfu in the La ilaha illa? Shouldn't the illa make Allah mansub? So basically, the La ilaha illallah, I've actually explained this. Where have I explained it? I can't remember. I've explained it somewhere. There's basically 10 tarkeebs you can do for this, 10 i'rabs you can do for this La ilaha illallah. 7 of them are valid ones, 3 of them are invalid ones. This is mentioned by Imam Ibn Hisham. Imam Ibn Hisham has actually gone through these. The easiest one I would say is that La ilaha, La is the harf nafi, and then ilaha is the ism of la, and then mawjudun is the khabar, hidden khabar. Yeah, so the khabar is hidden. La ilaha mawjudun illa Allah. And then the word Allah, this is considered to be like the mustathna. So the mustathna of something which is nafi, there's 2 possibilities for it. You can have mansub or you can have, but this is only when the mustathna minhu, the sentence before that, is complete. In this case, the sentence is not complete. So what you would say is that the word Allah is going to be like the khabar of la nafi al-jins. Yeah. So I've actually explained the different tarkibs of illa, yeah, in my course, Arabic grammar and tarkib course. So in the Arabic grammar and tarkib course, I've actually gone through the tarkib of mustathna, the 4 types of mustathna. So I've gone to four types of mustathna, explained each one, and the ones that were after the word illa, the mustathna takes a mansub nasab. Yeah, so there's 2 scenarios where it has to take nasab, and then there's 1 scenario where you've got a choice, and then the 1 scenario where it just follows whatever the normal pattern is. Alhamdulillah, I've been very good. Umran Ali, ahlan wa sahlan. Very good, thank you very much. I hope you've been. How's your preparation for the exam? Anwar Muhammad, what are your tips for those who seek to translate classical Islamic texts into English language? My advice would be, first of all, make sure you know both the translating language and the target language. You know them both thoroughly well, very, very well. So you need to know Arabic very well, and you'll need to know the language you're going to translate it into. If it's English, you'll need to know that very, very well, right? Because a lot of people who translate books, the mistakes they usually make is because either they don't know the Arabic language very well, or number 2, it's basically, they don't really kind of know the English language very well. So the translation is not accurate as possible. Thank you. I will find the video and watch, inshallah. You're welcome. Umran Ali, exams in a week, mashallah. Time's ticking. The clock is ticking, inshallah. So inshallah you'll do well, inshallah. Hope the lessons you've been preparing for them. That's the main thing when it comes to exams preparations. I used to like exams a lot when I was studying. I used to enjoy exams, even though I never used to prepare that much. I wish I had prepared more, but I was the kind of guy who just thought, you know what, this is enough preparation. I've done enough. And now when you look back and you think, no, you haven't done enough. You still got loads left. Yeah. Wa alaikum assalam, Sufyan. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Marhaban. Welcome, my brother Sufyan Sahib. Kya hal hai? Khairiyat se? Kem cho, my bro. With chocolate al-yom. Oh yeah, chocolates. The chocolates are... Where are the chocolates? Oh, there's some chocolates over here, actually. Yeah, let me just... These chocolates still haven't finished. I need to finish these quickly. Every time someone comes and I offer them these chocolates, I think 99% of the time they turn a face. Yeah, they make a face and they don't like it. But not everyone can like dark chocolate. So today is this one. Yum, yum, yum. It tastes good, that is. Very, very nice. Right. So I apologize for those people who have to hear the sounds of my mouth. Creative Diary, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan, welcome. Loyal fan, okay, I've sent the email. Okay, let me check. Uh, all right, so Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. إذا جاء أحدكم فراشه فلينفضه. Let me just. Writing is a bit small. Need to make it bigger. فلينفضه. So إذا جاء أحدكم فراشه. When one of you comes to his bedding, فلينفضه. Then he should dust it. بصنفه بصنفة ثوبه, with the side of his cloth, with the trail of his dress. ثلاث مرات, 3 times. وليقول, and then he should say, بسمك ربي, with your name, my Rabb, oh my Rabb. وضعت جنبي, I have placed my sides, my body. وبك أرفعه, and with you, in your name, I raise my body. Meaning, when I go to sleep, I put my body down in your name, and when I wake up in the morning, I lift my body up in your name. In amsakta nafsi, if you hold my nafs, meaning if you take my nafs, if this is my last breath and I'm going to die when I sleep, if you've decreed that you're going to take me, amsakta nafsi faghfir laha, then forgive it. Wa in arsaltaha, and then, however, if you allow my nafs free, meaning if you give me another chance to live another day, fahfadha, then protect it, bima, with what, tahfadh bihi ibadaka salihin, that which you protect your pious servants. Yeah, so in other words, you're asking Allah, this dua is basically you're asking Allah to forgive you if you die this night, and if you don't die this night and Allah allows you to live another day, then to protect you for another day. Yeah, so I'll just read that dua again. So Bismika Rabbi wada'tu jambi wa bika arfa'u in amsakta nafsi faghfir laha wa in arsaltaha fahfadha bima tahfadhu bihi ibadaka salihin. Right. Kalibala Sophie, wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sahlan me. Should one study Mughni al-Labib after Ibn Malik's Alfiya? So I would say, look, what do you want to do? Do you want to go extremely deep into Arabic grammar and you want to study at a very high level? Then yeah, definitely. Mughni al-Labib. Mughni al-Labib is good, but you can study other things as well. I would definitely say, why do you want to study Mughni al-Labib? I would suggest studying something like Ma'ani al-Nahu. So Ma'ani al-Nahu is a good book to study. Yeah. So this is also something which is beneficial. I would say definitely, it's definitely beneficial. 4-volume book, and it's something which really, really, really helps a person to be able to like thoroughly understand Nahu at a very good level. Then when you study Mughni al-Labib, it'll make a lot of sense to you. See, what happens is when sometimes a lot of students, or not sometimes, a lot of times, students don't know why they are studying Arabic grammar. They don't know. Like they just think they've got to do like a course of books. But I would say, look, ask yourself, why are you studying it for? Do you want to study Arabic grammar because you simply want to read books? Then you don't need to study something like Alfiya. Yeah. And studying the books later on as you go along is also something you can do as well. Definitely. But yeah, if you are into like really doing takhassus fi nahu, going really advanced, then definitely something like Mughni al-Labib, Sharh al-Radi, Mufassal, Sharh al-Mufassal of Zamakhshari's Mufassal, Sharh of that by Ibn Aish, studying something like Al-Nahw al-Wafi. These are really good books. Loyal follower, Jazakallah khair, you're welcome. Mu'eed, wa alaikum assalam. Is it okay to get travel insurance? So theoretically, no, it's not allowed. However, if the travel insurance is because there's a very good chance of something happening health-wise, and you won't be able to, in that country, you won't be able to cover the costs, then there may be a possibility for you. Can I take back the gift I gave my mother after her death? No, you can't. Yeah. Do we have to change our clothes for prayer after sleeping? Do we have to change our clothes for prayer after sleep? So Are you saying that you have a certain type of clothing that you wear for sleep? So if you have a certain type of clothing, like night clothes you wear for sleep, and you wouldn't walk outside on the roads with that clothes, with those pair of clothes, then no, you shouldn't pray your salat in it. If you do pray your salat, it'll be done, but it will be considered to be highly disliked. Yeah, be considered disliked. Um, but if you just wear those clothes outside as well, then you'd be able to pray in them. Due to possibility of breaking wind during sleep, no, that's not the reason why you have to change your clothes. It's basically you pray salat in those clothes that you would be comfortable walking outside in public. Fahim Safla, ahlan wa sahlan wa alaikum assalam. Welcome, my brother. TPHO, alaikum assalam. When we recite the dua of protection in morning and evening, does that mean definitely nothing bad will happen? According to the hadith, yes, unless Allah has decreed otherwise. Yeah, so this kind of like it gives you some sort of like assurance that Allah will protect you. But if you are decreed for something to happen to you, definitely 100%. So there's like certain types of decree that you can be protected from, and there's certain types of decree which are fixed decree. So you have temporary decree and fixed decree. Okay. Wa alaikum assalam. HK, ahlan wa sahlan. Is it true that the khutbah of Jummah is equivalent to the 2 units of prayer? Not according to Hanafi school, no. No, not according to Hanafi school. Muhammad Prairie, ahlan wa sahlan. Long time, my brother from Chicago. Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. Hope you're well. TPH, this dua. Bismillahi la yadurru ma'asmi shay'an fil ardi wa la fis sama wa huwa as-sami'ul alim. Yeah, that's the one. So in fact, this dua has actually been reported by the son of Uthman radiyallahu anhu. Yeah. And Aban. And what happened was when he reported this hadith, he had basically like half paralysis, and like half his face was towards one side. So when he narrated this hadith to the students were like, wait a minute, look at what happened to you. You're saying this hadith, and you yourself have been affected by paralysis. So the Prophet, so Aban said that strangely enough, the day I didn't say this dua, this happened to me. It was like the qadr of Allah came and stopped me from saying this dua because I was supposed to get this. Kazma Taz, wa alaikum assalam, ahlan wa sahlan. How's the Sufa going? Everything back to normal since the pandemic? Oh, yes. Everything's back to normal since there's been like about 6 months now. Yeah, 6 months or so. Maybe even more. Everything's back to normal. Shahrukh Yusuf, did the Prophet ﷺ go past the Sidrat al-Muntaha? So according to the Quran, yes. Yeah. So he went to the Sidrat al-Muntaha. And narrations also mention this as well, that he went beyond it as well. The Quran says he went up to Sidrat al-Muntaha. وَلَقَدْ رَآهُ نَزْلَةً أُخْرَى عِنْدَ سِدْرَةِ الْمُنْتَهَى إِنْدَهَا جَنَّةُ الْمَأْوَى إِذْ يَغْشَى السِّدْرَةَ مَا يَغْشَى مَا زَاغَ الْبَصَرُ وَمَا طَغَى. But the hadith mentions about him going beyond the Sidrat al-Muntaha. Mufti Sahib, what text should one study in Sarf after Lamiyya, Af'al and Matan Izzi? Then you can study something like Ilm al-Sigha would be good. You can study something like As-Sarf al-Arabi by Sheikh Fadl Sam Rai. Yeah, those are good texts to study. But again, same question would be here. How far do you want to go with Sarf? Do you want enough Sarf just to be able to start reading books? Then I would say these kind of books are sufficient. Yeah. Ilm al-Sigha, definitely. Study Ilm al-Sigha, that's sufficient. If you want to go really deep into it, then things like Shafiyah by Ibn Hajib, that would be the next step. HK, what is your advice about a man and woman who are looking to get married for them to share their medical records before marriage? If it's something really serious that might affect the marriage, then yes. Otherwise, no. Yeah, otherwise it's not. For example, like let's say, for example, the husband has cancer or something, or the man has cancer, he should definitely tell the woman that he's got cancer, because that's definitely going to affect the marriage. Yeah, anything of that kind of that sort, I think it should be disclosed. Who is your role model? Someone that is alive? I don't know. I think my teachers, maybe my teachers are my role model. My parents are my role models. There's different kind of role models you get. Sometimes you might have a role model who you don't kind of look up to in everything. There's just certain things that you look up to in them. Yeah. So some people you might look up to, let's say, for example, when it comes to the way that they show courage. Some people you might look up to when it comes to like perseverance. Some people you might look up to when it comes to like honesty. So there are other things, different things that you might look up to in various people. Yes, I went today. I just came back from bike riding. After Juma, Maji just called me and said, "Come on, let's go bike riding." So I just went bike riding right now, and still haven't had a shower. So I just came quickly, just put my Juma clothes on, just to kind of like make, give the nice Juma mood, and I just came on. So we did 14 miles today. I usually put it up on my WhatsApp status. I put up my image and I put up my the mileage that we did, the route. So yeah, and I've got I'm on Strava as well. So those of you guys on Strava, I'm on Strava, and I usually kind of put up my rides on there. You are our role model, alhamdulillah. May Allah make me live up to being a role model and give you better role models. I personally think, look, we shouldn't make anyone who's alive today our role model in everything. Our ultimate role model is the Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, and then the Sahaba after them. And if you make living people your role model, the thing is, with living people, there's no guarantee what can happen. So, you don't want someone who's alive all of a sudden being a role model for like millions of viewers, and then all of a sudden they do something very silly, and then it just has a big ripple effect impact on all the followers, and it kind of demotivates them. I personally don't like that, and I've seen it quite a lot happen on social media, where people will be following some famous Muslim celebrity, scholar, or someone, and something really bad happens in their life, and then people kind of become despondent of the deen or studying or ulama. Yeah, but may Allah make us all good people. Who are some ulama you look up to in the UK? So some of the ulama I look up to is, for example, like Mufti Shabir. So Mufti Shabir of Blackburnbury. I look up to Mufti Abdurrahman Mangera. Look up to Mufti Faraz Adam. Look up to Sheikh Zahir Mahmood. Look up to who else? People, yeah, Sheikh Salman Yunus, Sheikh Hanif, Sheikh Suhail Hanif. Uh, yeah, these kind of people, and there's quite a lot. I think in different areas, I look up to them. Yeah, in different areas, I think, and I like I said, I don't like look up to one person in everything. You take the good from people, and there's certain things that you don't kind of like resonate with you. I think that's the kind of way to go about it. Mufti Saab, who asked someone, Assalamu alaikum Sharif, well, ahlan wa sahlan, my brother, ahlan wa sahlan, New Jersey. Is the UK encountering any effects of the Putin invasion? Petrol going up? Yes. So the prices of petrol have gone quite high. I've actually got to fill my car up today and go tomorrow for it up. But yeah, it's gone quite high. So that's been affected. Utility bills have gone up, like shot up. So they've like literally almost doubled, you can say. So there's quite a lot of impact it's had. Not just that, I think other things have had impact as well, because from before we've had problems with gas supply and things like that, and most of that comes from Eastern Europe. Assalamu alaikum, Mullah. Ahlan wa sahlan, my brother. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sahlan. Abdullah Afdal, ahlan wa sahlan. Do I have to take my glasses off when I make dua in order to rub my face? No, it's not necessary. So are you talking about in wudu? In wudu, yeah. So in wudu or dua, sorry. When you're doing dua, as long as you just put your hands over your face, the idea is symbolic. It's symbolic. That's what it is. So you don't have to kind of touch every single skin of your face. It's just symbolic to be able to do that. What age were you able to read the Quran fully in Arabic, as in with tajweed wise or understanding wise? Uh, yeah, Allah. Yeah, so that's been so tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow is, like I said, tomorrow is going to be my talk, Miraculous Quran. It's called the Miraculous Quran. Okay, and it's going to be in a place called Ad-Duha Institute. Yeah, Ad-Duha Institute. Yeah, so in fact, let me just show you guys the link. Don't know if any of you guys got Facebook or anything. So this is the link for it that you guys can check out. Understanding the Quran meaning. Oh, I think it was a gradual thing from the age of 18. So that was like in 2000. So I was slowly kind of increasing my understanding, increasing. I would say I was fully able to understand it by about 2005, I think. Like really fully read and understand. What should I do if I didn't pay my zakat last year? I was unaware I was above threshold, so pay it now. Yeah, you pay now. So you work out how much you had to give on that date, and then you give it now. Ahlan wa sahlan, Kini Mick. Wa alaikum salam. I'm 18 years old. I'm currently in sixth form. What I really want to be is a mon like you. What steps do you recommend me to take? So I would say, so you're 18 years old. That means you're probably finishing your sixth form now. You can look at maybe joining a madrasa somewhere locally, or maybe even going abroad if you think you can do that. I went abroad when I was 18. So you can study locally, start studying Arabic language, and then you can take it from there. You'll understand what you need to do. So if you're at the age of 18, find out where your local madrasa is, or maybe you might have to move to some place where you gotta do some boarding, stay there, move there. Ya Allah. Ya Allah, la ilaha illallah. Alaikum assalam, Abdul Majid, ahlan wa sahlan. Ahlan wa sacrifice, sacrifice, bro. See what happens, bro. See what I do for you, bro. Do shukr. Jazakallah khair, Abdullah, ahlan wa sahlan. Ameen. Thank you for your du'as. Did a Sufa have to do anything against the traditional ways in order to become accredited? When you start doing that, I don't know what you mean by against the traditional ways. Depends what you mean by traditional ways. You sacrifice yourself and I sacrifice that food. Yeah. Look at that. Qurbani, bro, Qurbani. What is the Hanafi ruling on praying behind someone who doesn't have a fistful beard? I feel the Hanafis are very strict. So it's not a Hanafi issue. It's actually generally there's a difference in the Hanafi. So for example, like many of the Hanafis in the Indian subcontinent, they hold this position. So not all of them, but many of them hold this position that someone who has a beard that is small and that beard is not, that cutting of the beard is not because of a fiqh ikhtilaf. So the idea basically is based upon, are you allowed to pray behind someone who's an open sinner? So this is the issue. Now, if a person cuts their beard, are they considered to be committing a sin or not? So Hanafis have an ikhtilaf in this. So there are like Arab Hanafis, Turkish Hanafis who allow the shortening of the beard, cutting the beard short, like Sheikh Mustafa Sabri, Sheikh Zahid al-Kawthari, and others. They had very small beards. Yeah, and many of our scholars prayed behind them as well, from what we know, studied from them as well. So there's like an ikhtilaf issue. So it's not a core Hanafi. It's not a core Hanafi thing. Can I say dhikr while I'm wearing shorts at home? Yes, you can say dhikr as long as your private area is covered. That's the main thing. As long as the private area is covered, the awra al-ghalidha they call it. Does your merchandise deliver to the United States, America also? What does rock mean? Is that how you spell rock? Yes, it should. It should send, because so the company that the T-shirts basically are printed on are found everywhere. So you just put in your location. I think they'll probably print it locally. They print it and send it off locally. Yeah, so it should be available there. What does rock mean? Roots of knowledge, rock is. Rock is roots of knowledge. Can we shirt with a picture of a nice rock or rock if you prefer? A rock? Oh, that'd be a good one. Yeah. So the rock doesn't mean rock as in like a rock. It refers to roots of knowledge as acronym. Have you heard of Ammar Nakshwani? I've heard that name somewhere. Is he that Shia guy who people sometimes spread some videos of his? If that's him, then I think I've heard of him. Assalamu alaikum. Hypothetically, a question: say a man and a woman are stranded on an island alone. Can they get married without witnesses or any situation where witnesses are problematic, like the war times? Yeah, so that would be a unique situation. So therefore, in that situation, taking the opinion of a different madhab would be permissible there. So if there's two people on an island and they want to get married and there's no possible witnesses, then that would be a unique situation which would be allowed. Yeah, knees would be showing, that's fine. So knees showing is not considered to be something that would prohibit dhikr of Allah. It's the aura ghalida, the aura of the ghalida. So is it permissible to keep a snake or hamster as a pet? Generally, this kind of thing should not be done. Yeah, because these kind of are not generally pets or considered to be things that are not usually kept by people. However, if a person, for example, like if it has shown that people keep certain types of pets because they are lonely, then there is permissibility for it. Yeah, as long as you feed the animal properly. So feeding it properly, taking care of it, like in our society, generally people keep it like that. Yeah, so if it's dangerous, then no. But if it's considered to be something for some sort of a purpose, then there's permissibility for it. As long as you take care of it, you feed it well, give it enough space, then I would say there should be scope for it. I mean, so things such as learning on desks and mixing of brothers and sisters, and many institutes in order to get credit are doing that. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't see that as being like the main thing. See, the way you have to understand is, if you're talking about like the Deobandi movement, the Deobandi movement actually started two universities. So one was Jami'a Millah, yeah, and one was Deoband, and the Millah was the one which is like the university style. This was also started by the founders of the Deobandi movement. Yeah, so Sheikh Qasim Nanotwi, Rashid Ahmad Gangohi, they actually started. So they wanted to have like a traditional, and they also wanted to have like more of a university style as well, and that was on chairs and tables. So studying on chairs and tables isn't something that goes against tradition. That's just because that was the style of the culture at that time. It was generally floor style, right? So there's no sort of issue in there. And yeah, so maybe for example, like the tradition of initially when these madrasas were started, there wasn't like a females tradition of them studying side to side with men. As long as there's some sort of a segregation in between. A sofa has separate facilities, so separate rooms for men, separate rooms for women. Yeah. What is the minimum mahar? Are you talking about the Hanafi school? Hanafi school, the minimum mahar is what we call 10 silver coins. Whatever 10 silver coins is worth. That much. What's been up lately, Mufti Sahib? Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Alhamdulillah, it's been very good. MashaAllah, been enjoying the weather today. Very, very nice weather. Today I had a Jummah bayan, and my Jummah bayan was on Surah Al-Asr. Unfortunately, I did not record it. I just realized later on that I didn't record it. But next week, inshallah, I'll do the similar talk and I'll record that one, inshallah. So I was talking about Surah Al-Asr, the sort of like the application of Surah Asr in today's time. Yeah, how Surah Asr, what it means for us in today's time. Yeah, how it applies to, people like Elon Musk, and how does it apply to famous celebrities, and how does it apply to the average Muslim? What that means. How does a latecomer join prayer, and how does he complete the remaining rakat in Hanafi? So the latecomer, basically, if he comes late, whichever rakat that he's missed after giving salam, he makes that up. Yeah, that's the first thing. And the second thing is, every time he prays a rakat, every time he prays two rakats, he should sit down. That's the rule. So as long as you remember that, you should be okay. So if you're praying Zuhr and you came late to the second rakat, so you pray with the Imam, rakat number 2, 3, and 4, and then after salam, when you get up, you make up rakat number 1. If you missed 2 rakats, you join him in the third rakat, pray with the Imam 3 and 4, After salam, when you get up, you make up 1 and 2. If you join them in the 4th rakat, then you have to make up 1, 2, and 3. So now when you get up after salam, you pray 1 rakat and then you sit down because 2 now. After every 2 rakats, you have to sit down. So you pray 2, sit down, and then you pray the other 2, and then you sit down, you give salam. Wa alaikum assalam, muta'allima ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome. How close do you have to be to the mosque for congregation to be obligatory? I would say if it's reasonably close, such that you can go there and come back within like 15 minutes. So you can go there in 15 minutes, come back 15 minutes. So as long as that's the case, you should go, definitely. And it all depends, obviously, on other factors as well. If you have to go work or if you have to have classes and things like that, that all makes a difference. But if you are just at home and you're able to go there, then you should go. We went to end in the Midlands in Chicago. It was snowing last night. In fact, we actually had some snow as well yesterday. Strange in the daytime. So it's a bit strange weather at the moment. So it looks as though spring is starting. So it looks as though it's on the verge of spring, but hasn't started yet. Still winter. Maulana, right now I am stuck in a rut and feeling depressed. Is it? May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make things easy for you, my brother. One thing we have to remember, guys, we all are human beings and we all have problems in our lives. And now and again, we need to support one another. We strengthen one another, remind each other that life is something which is ups and downs. That's what it's all about. And sometimes you look back in your life and you think, look how many ups and downs I went through. So what I would say, my brother, is, just look at your life. Think about what kind of aspects of your life do you have that may be affecting this. Yeah, are you involved in any sins? Are you involved in a bad crowd? Are you involved in some sort of like drugs or anything like that? Allah knows everyone's got their own issues, private issues. So make dire dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah gives you ease and helps you move away from these kind of things. That's the main thing that brings sadness in our lives. Sometimes I'm religious and not indulging in destructive habits, and right now I am. Yeah, so see, that's the thing that you need to focus on. I would say good company. Find yourself good company and start to stay with them. Is it true that one should pray in the mosque which is closest to him? Yes. I'm also gaming excessively and being unproductive. That's it. That seems to be, you've kind of like hit the nail on the head. Does he start with dua, istiftah, and raise hands? I don't understand. Does he start? Who start? Do you advise mutala'a and takrar at night or early morning? Depends on person. I've heard that if you do your mutala at night time, as you're sleeping actually helps you like organize all that information. Yeah. So organizing information, all that kind of stuff, is something which is going to help you, definitely 100%. So I would say nighttime, very, very good. And then in the morning, just quickly go over it. If a person came late to Salah on the last rak'ah, and so when he stands up after Salam, he is on his second rak'ah, does he recite another Surah Al-Fatiha? If a person came late to Salah on the first rak'ah, so he missed the first rak'ah, yeah? So when he stands up after Salam, he is on his second rak'ah. So how many rak'ats are there in the Salah? Yeah. So if a person like Zuhr Salat, if he misses the first rakat in Zuhr, after he prays with the Imam, rakat number 2, 3, and 4, when he gets up after Salam, he's just going to make up the first rakat, meaning Surah Fatiha and a Surah, according to the Hanafis. And what if a person misses all rakats and joins on the tashahhud? Should he recite the opening dua? Yes. So he would recite everything that he would recite if he was praying on his own. Q&A tomorrow, or will your talk at a sofa bump it to next week? Hopefully, I should be back. Hopefully, because the talk is at 7:30. It's going to be Isha at 7:30. Talk should start maybe about 7:45, maybe something like that. And then that should finish. And then, yeah, I might get a bit late. I'll see, inshallah. I'll let you guys know, because I don't know at the moment how it's going to work. How's Safura? The more pertinent question should be, how is your house? Yeah, I think Safura's gone. I think she should be back home. Yeah, she's probably going to be telling you about how she wanted to meet me and she met me. So I was going to tell Safur to come on camera here, yeah, to get say hi to everyone. The latecomer. Oh, the latecomer, yeah. So the latecomer, so he starts his dua istiftah and raise. So no, he doesn't need to raise hands because he raised his hands at the beginning when he joined the imam. And so I'll try to implement that, inshallah. And one of the things I find when it comes to making notes, make sure you write your notes with a pen, short summary of your notes. So like if you're reading something, if you're reading one page, make sure 2 points in that page you write down, important points. So have a piece of paper with you and write down. That way you start to learn how to retain information. So if you read 10 pages, how much information have you retained from 10 pages? You should be able to, she should be able to recall it all. So you don't have to recall all the information in the 10, but all the major points that are important to you. That's what you need to remember. So you don't have to kind of like recall everything. I think a lot of students, they think they have to recall everything. You don't have to. You just have to, I would say, you just have to recall major points which you find to be very sort of like beneficial, useful. She's just coming well excited. Yeah. Safura. I was going to give her some chocolate as well, but then I said, you know what? I'm going to mess her up, spoil her. Too much chocolate. I've heard that taking notes after class is better. Yeah. So what I generally find is this: I tell the students after class finishes, for 5 minutes, just summarize everything you've done in lesson. Summarize it with the person next to you. Right. Just try to go over it and maybe make a note. Then at night time, go over it again. Right. From your head, whatever you can remember, write it down. And then at the end of the week, go over everything you've done in the week. Summarize it with someone else. If you keep doing that, you'll find you're going to remember lots of information. And the thing is, when you read, what I tend to do is when I read for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and then I stop. Then I do something else for about 5 minutes. Then I come back and carry on reading. That way, what happens is your mind is just like absorbing everything that you can. If you read after, I find if I read after 20 minutes, carry on reading, I just stop, my brain stops absorbing. Muhammad Prayer Muslim, I've heard from some people it's preferred for men to wear light colors such as white. Not necessarily. I mean, it all depends which part of the world you're from. Yes, some parts in the season as well. So some people wearing white. Like for example, the Prophet Sallallahu he wore different colors. His preferred color was red. Yeah, he used to have like a red kind of jubba he used to wear. That was his preferred one. So this is why like different people. In fact, in the Abbasi period, ulama used to wear black. Strange, black cloaks. They used to wear these black cloaks. So if you've ever seen pictures of ulama of Turkey, like old pictures from the early 19th century, 18th century, you'll find them wearing like a black kind of cloak, just like similar to what you see Shias, the Ayatollahs wear, those that kind of like that. So I think it differs from time to time. Do you prefer Ramadan in spring, autumn, summer, or winter? Winter, definitely winter. Shorter Ramadan, Taraweeh, and then Mishkat Khan, ahla wa sahla, my brother. What's your opinion regarding listening to the lectures of Sheikh Imran Hussain? I think do not listen to him. Do not listen to him at all. Umran Ali Al Takrar. What has one eye and can't see? What has one eye and can't see? A one-eyed dead man. I don't know. What has one eye and can't see? One eye. Is it like the word eye or the word night? I was wondering, how did Asufar become accredited in the first place? Accredited for what? I mean, for university. They're saying university. So for accredited for university, you don't need you don't need to. So there's different ways you can be accredited by universities in the UK. They don't really kind of look at the issue of whether you're segregated or not. They don't look at that. That's something up to you. But what they look at is the pedagogy of the education and the curriculum. That's what they look at. The main thing is that how rigorous is the curriculum. A lot of madrasas, unfortunately, their curriculum is not rigorous enough for universities. Like, that's a sad reality. A lot of madrasas, they just do the typical thing, which is Teacher will just come in lesson, teach a book, go, wait for exams to come, everyone gets tested, and that's it. So it doesn't create critical thinkers like the past olden days madrasas they used to have were very sort of like critical thinking ulama you had in the past, for many reasons. But now it's just like you're just like producing students who simply can explain a book, but then they can't do anything besides that, and that's not what we want. We want better than that. We want people that are able to write. So you'll find very few scholars. For example, in the US, you've got Mufti Muntasir al-Zaman, like scholars at his caliber, his level, that are very critical thinkers, are able to produce really good, solid academic works that even university graduates look up to. That's what we need to produce. So if we can have like people at that level, like Sheikh Bilal Ansari, that kind of level scholarship, that's going to help the ummah a lot, because that's in the West. We need that kind of level of scholarship. Just having someone, once uh, someone asked a scholar, you know, this I know this guy who's memorized Bukhari, and he said, "Well, what's special about that? That's just added another. That's just added another copy of Bukhari to the world, right? And what we want is a person that has the ability to be able to understand, think, to be able to process information, answer questions. That's what we want. Needle, probably. Needle. Yeah, that's the one. Excellent. Unless it doesn't have an I. Sange, Zed, ahlan wa sahlan, Zed. I'm not sure who you are, but how's your week? Do you have any tips on improved writing academic skills? Yeah. So writing academic skills, get in touch with someone who is good at it and just write for them and tell them to give you feedback. I think that's the biggest thing that people don't realize. Getting feedback, critical feedback, is very, very important to improve yourself. So get someone who's very good at writing. Tell them, look, give me a topic and I'll research it and I'll present the information to you. And you just show me how to format the information, how lay out the ideas. And this is something you don't learn in madrasas, unfortunately. A lot of madrasas, you don't learn this kind of skill, right? And it's like, if we had, like, imagine, for example, in Pakistan, you have 50,000 people graduating from, Darsi Nizam madrasas overall, over all groups, whether it's Ahl Sunnah, Shia, others. You need to have critical ability to be able to teach, understand, learn. That's what we need. Yeah. So in a Sufa, what we do basically in a Sufa is all those skills that you gain in university, we give them that from the beginning. So once they reach, when they do the bachelor's BA, 2-year BA on side to side with the Alimiya course, they basically already have all those skills to be able to critical think. And then the 2 years of BA is very simple for them to do. Yeah. So that's what we kind of do. What do you guys do in a Sufa differently? So we do a lot of things. So the things you need to know, what does a normal madrasa do? Once you understand what a normal madrasa does, then you'll understand what we do differently. Raise the next generation of Muslim thinkers. Exactly. That's what we need. Definitely. 100%. We need Muslim thinkers in our time today. Right. And to just produce a Maulana who can lead 5 times Salat in a masjid and do maktab, I think that is lowering the bar too low. Yeah, that's expecting too less. We need to expect high from our graduates. Do you think it's important to study philosophy in madrasa? I mean, if you're living in the West, 100%, because philosophy is a way of thinking. The problem we have today with a lot of sort of like onslaught against Muslims is we don't understand, a lot of us don't understand, behind this onslaught is a way of thinking. If we can understand that way of thinking and we can deconstruct that way of thinking and show the problems with that thinking process, we solve a lot of our debates. Yeah, so it's the way of thinking that philosophy gives you. Yeah, so it's like, how does this guy think about life and about religion and about the existence of God? How does this guy think? How did this guy think? And then how is the policies developed by the Western world? How does all that become affected? So when people say, I don't want to study philosophy, that's fine if you don't want to study it, but you're going to have a big problem when you have to deconstruct feminism and you have to deconstruct things like capitalism and deconstruct, Marxism and these ideas, utilitarianism, others. All of these things require you to understand where they came from, the negative impact they're having on the world, and how Islam responds to this. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أهلا وسهلا امتياز، أحبك في الله، أحبك الذي أحببتني فيه يا أخي الحبيب عمر. Sharif, well, then it would be a nail or a tack. That's true. You got me there. People are on different levels, so when they get told to write an essay, can be overwhelming. Yeah, exactly. So what you do, start small, right? What I do with my students is we start small, small little writings. Like for example, tell them to write about your thoughts on something. When you tell students to write their thoughts, that's from the beginning. That's overwhelming. That is because students, they don't know how to think, right? They don't know because they're used to the teacher telling them everything. Once you get students to think, and then you start speaking with them, discussing things with them, then you begin to realize, you know what, this is really kind of important topic. This is, yeah. So start small. I would say just write down 10 lines, 5 to 10 lines, right? Just something small, maybe even like 200 words. Write something like 200 words on something, and then you develop that, and then you start to, your writing skills start to develop. I love Asufa. Ahlan wa sahlan, ahlan wa sahlan. Asufa loves you, Emullah. The expectation is better suited to someone who's just done his fard ain and wants to contribute in his community via leading salam maktab, not scholarship. Yeah, that's literally what you need to actually lead prayers and to run a maktab. I went to a Muslim student house for the first time to stay. Oh yeah, Muslim student house. Yeah, it's nice, isn't it? It's like nice and calm. And Sheikh, what about Hanafi person who lives in different country where the dominant madhab is Shafi or Hanbali? Can he take fatwa from the scholars of that country? If they're reliable, yes. If you trust them and they're reliable people, they're upright, and from what you see from them, they seem good people, then I wouldn't see a problem. We're used to being spoon-fed. Yes, I 100% agree with that. Spoon-fed isn't really a good thing, especially if you're living in the West. You need to have your wits about you as well. You can't be like, naive, yeah, and just take things as they are. You have to understand that a lot of the problems that we have are problems. And people listen to people like Muhammad Hijab has a series on the Londoniya series. Listen to that. If you can listen to that and understand it, that will really help your understanding of modern philosophy. I think them days are gone where you only teach maktab. Yeah. Assalamu alaikum. What is a starting point to deconstruct the false and negative philosophy that is injected into media, etc.? There's so many. It's layered. It's multi-layered. So you need to be able to. I'll give you an example. For example, this idea that, look, like movies, for example, movies portray like a false image of reality. All movies do that because the movie is designed to be entertainment. It's called show business for a reason, because it's to show you something to make money. They want to make more money, so they show you what you like, and that's what we have to understand. This is not reality. So when you live in a world which is based upon show business and people are making lots of money from it, and it's affecting people's perception of what life is like, this is something which is, problematic. Then what does the movie show? Does the movie show this idea that, for example, America is always wants the best for you, or aliens only come to America, or the West is always the one that is trying to liberate everyone else from the shackles of religion and the shackles of oppression? Yeah, these kind of things, they portray certain underlining messages. Like, for example, capitalism is good for you, or for example, everyone has the right to do whatever they want. Liberalism, yeah, as long as you're not harming anyone else, you're okay. Or the idea of this kind of like militant feminism, and now LGBT as well. So there's lots of messages inside films that you don't realize that have an impact. If you don't realize you're watching these and you absorb them and you think it's okay, these are Islamically they're okay, then you're gonna have a problem. Too many challenges. Yeah, a lot of challenges, definitely. I watched his feminism talk on London. Yeah, very good, definitely. And this is the kind, if we had in madrasas this kind of approach in how we can tackle ideas, deconstruct, learn how to deconstruct. This is what the scholars did in the past. If you ever study the books of classical like philosophy, you'll see it was very much like a debate method, where you kind of present an argument, you break it down, and then you answer it. Do you get really busy during spring because of all the nikahs and stuff? I don't really do nikahs. I turn a lot of people down for nikahs. So I always tell people, look, guys, please don't call me for nikahs. I'm not too much into, because it's not really something which is my forte. It's not something which I've studied for, to just do nikahs. Nikahs is something that anyone who's really just learns a bit of ilm can do a nikah. But if I do, then yeah, there's kind of nikahs that I'll do. Maybe I don't know. At the moment, there's no nikahs on the table. But if there is some nikahs come up and some very close friends or family members, then I do some. The last one that I done was for my cousin, and that was about a month ago. Yeah, so he got married. So for him, I did it for him. And yeah. Met Sheikh Khalid Yasin gave a bayan in masjid. Okay, Khalid Yasin, I remember a long time ago, he kind of like stopped, didn't he? Disappeared off the scene. Has some very good ideas on da'wah to non-Muslims. Okay. Kalam and Aqidah has to be emphasized a lot more in Madaris then. Yes, definitely. Definitely. And that's what we have. We have actually Sheikh Yasir Hanafi, he teaches in a Sufa. And he teaches Ilm al-Kalam, teaches Ghazali's books as well. Maturidi, Aqidah Maturidiyah. Assalamu alaikum, Nahid, ahlan wa sahlan, Najis Tahawiyya in 5th year, Shar Aqaid before Dawra. Yeah, you got it, bro. Amran, you know the ins and outs of what happens in madrasas. Do you teach Sirah Asufa? Yes. So in Asufa, in the full time, the Sirah is taught. There's 2 lessons of Sirah in the first year. One is to do with the Meccan period, Medinan period in detail, the whole year. Yeah, so you have a lot of exposure to Sirah, and the students have to give presentations on Sirah. Have you heard of the Madrasa Al-Qasim Chicago founded by Sheikh Amin? It's a very academic. Yes. Yeah, definitely heard of that. Yeah, I've met Sheikh Amin. He actually came to the UK a few years ago. And Sheikh Zair and myself, we went to meet him. And we were just discussing ideas with him as well. So, mashallah, he's a very, very capable scholar. Better come to my nikah sub. Guji biryani, inshallah. Bro, when is it? You tell me when it is, inshallah. And I'll try to free up that day for you, bro. Blackburn, yeah? I gotta come all the way to Blackburn. If I do come on that day to Blackburn, then Blackburn guys, get ready. Yeah, you're gonna have a meetup. Some alim courses, Sira not taught, yeah. We don't have Sira in our part-time because we don't really have the time to be able to do that. But full-time, yeah, we dedicate to that. Never understood why Tahawiyah is so far in the class. Yeah. What was your Juma Bayan? Today's Juma Bayan was about Surah Al-Asr. Yeah, so Surah Al-Asr basically kind of gives you the reason why all mankind is literally in loss. Like from every single individual that's living on the earth today, whatever they're doing. Some people are in loss, like short-term loss, like as in their loss is something that is imminent, you can see it. And some people's loss is a long-term loss. It seems as though they're doing well, but in reality, there is a loss, big loss. And then I go into detail about this idea of what does it mean to have a long-term loss? What does it mean? How is people like Elon Musk in loss, even though he's the richest man in the world? But in reality, the concept of loss has to be understood in the framework of Islam, how Islam presents the idea of success. Assalamu alaikum arsalan. How effective do you think teaching Arabic from the beginning through bite-sized videos can be? I don't know, I'm experimenting with it, as you can see on my YouTube channel. I don't know how effective it can be because I think it just inspires people to learn. But I think people have to take it seriously. They have to do homeworks. They have to do. That's why the Quranic Arabic 17 lessons is much better of an option. Otherwise, if you remember those 1-minute videos I was doing before, I couldn't see any benefit people were getting from it. I don't know. Maybe it is. Blackburn crew unite. When I find a wife, yeah, that is obviously a good idea. No point me coming camping there in Blackburn Sharif. Have you seen any Sheikh Yasir Qadi's Sirah? No, I haven't. But I heard a lot of good things about it. We have Al-Fiqh Al-Akbar in year 1 and Tahawiyah in year 2. Excellent. Very good. He's coming to UK to do a 1-day Sirah course. Okay. I've met him quite a few times in the UK. Right, guys. So, Alhamdulillah. Anyway, guys, I actually only plan to do like a short live stream. But yeah, tomorrow, guys, remember I've got my talk tomorrow, the miraculous language of the Quran. If you guys are interested, I don't know if it's going to be live. I don't think it's going to be live streamed. It's going to be there, you know. Oh, actually online as well. Free event online as well. Okay, online. Sounds good. In the verse, وقال نسوة في المدينة قال, why is it امرأة العزيز? قال, why is it? قال, I don't understand. قال نسوة في المدينة, why is it امرأة العزيز? Sorry, I don't understand the question. Weather's getting better for the bike ride. Yeah, today I went for a bike ride. I just came back. I mean, literally, I'm sweating. So I'm gonna take a nice hot shower. I had a cold shower this morning. Yes, this morning for Juma, I had a nice cold shower, 3-minute cold shower. Trust me, guys. Has anyone else started it? You need to start a cold shower. By the way, if you haven't hit the like button, make sure you hit the like button. But cold shower is the ultimate thing. Oh, another thing, on my uruk.com, I've actually put Zad al-Talibin on there. I taught Zad al-Talibin many years ago. So I've started to upload my Zad al-Talibin videos onto uruk.com. So it's a course. It's a paid course, pre-recorded. So those of you guys who are doing Zad Talibin, or you want like kind of like help in that, this is, I would say it's really useful for people who are doing Zad Talibin. So you can check it out on uruk.com, websites there. Arabic podcast tonight as well, definitely. What are you reading these days? These days, because I was teaching Hidayah, I was reading a lot of fiqh books. So literally every day I was reading about between 10 to 15 fiqh books every day. So that's like Imam Muhammad's Asl, Sarakhsi, yeah. So is Mabsut, Hidayah, obviously, Binaya, Fatul Qadir, all those books, Rad al-Muhtar. So I've been reading a lot of those. Because usually when I get my holidays and I get time to teach Hidayah, then I really like to read a lot of Hidayah, fiqh books rather, just to kind of build my own understanding, picture of fiqh and the different opinions, etc. Sheikh, can I read the book of Ibn Rushd and Tahafut? It's a reliable work, but if you can understand it, that is. I wouldn't recommend reading that straight away. I would first of all recommend studying the whole concept of philosophy and then going on to something like that. I meant qala, why is it qala? You mean qala niswatun? Yeah, you talking about that? Qala niswatun? The answer for this is because qala is a single wahid mudakkar, ghaib, and niswatun is jama'a. So whenever you have a jama mukassar, you can say qala and you can say qalat. Yeah, so this is something which is permissible in that. Do you prefer hot or cold showers? I prefer hot, but cold is really good for. I mean, since I've been taking cold showers, I've hardly felt ill. Like normally, I'll feel a bit ill, cold, like runny nose, things like that. But since I've been doing cold showers, seriously, it's really, really. People think cold showers is cold, but once you get used to it, once you do it 2 or 3 times, your body just is adapted. And as soon as you get in the shower, cold shower, you have that breathing problem, but then you overcome it. Good for mental strength, definitely, Omran. 100%, I agree with you. Niswatun is feminine. Yeah. I've heard benefits of it, so hard to put on cold tap. Yeah, so you got to overcome those initial few seconds when it hits your body. The thing is, you got to learn how to breathe. Once you can breathe properly, then it's fine. Yeah, because what happens is when you have a cold shower, they say that the body starts to react immediately, and you start to produce more white blood cells, or I don't know. I'm not a doctor, obviously, so I wouldn't be able to give you the right answer. But this is what I've read, and it produces something called brown fat, right, which helps. It keeps your body warm. So after you have a cold shower, you'll actually feel warm all day, just naturally warm. And it also helps in like a lot of things, a bit of weight loss. It helps in feeling energized. You feel more energized. Your skin feels much better. Yeah, strange. Your skin starts to feel much better. I started cold showers after your recommendation. Went back to. No, you got to do a few times, MH. And see, alaikum assalam. Do you have any suggestions for someone beginning balagha? My course, I would definitely say my course is on uruk.com. 2 courses I've got. Ilm al-Ma'ani course and Ilm Badi and Bayan, right? And I've gone through just the Quran. And you can watch my videos on Surah Amma. So Surah Amma, I've gone through Surah Amma and explained this whole sort of like where is it? What was it called? On. Let me just find the list. Yeah, Surah Amma I did, and I explained all the balagha points that came to me, the ones I researched. And I mean, it's a really beneficial. When I teach balagha to my students, the aim of the balagha, I say, is always this: is that you're able to, at the end of the day, to be able to open the Quran, take an ayah, and identify as many balagha points as you can in any ayah. If you can do that, you've studied it properly. Yeah. So balagha series. Yeah, that's balagha series. And then if you go to my uruk.com, I've actually got 2 courses that I've made. Uruk.com. So it's just the one that's written down over here in the blue. You can see uruk.com. I mean, I'd rather die young than put myself through misery showering. Trust me, cold showers is really, really beneficial. Seriously, you will not regret it after you've done it 3 or 4 times. You will not regret it. I tell you. And the next thing I want to try is cold baths. But the only thing is I don't want to waste too much water. I think it's a lot of waste of water. Yeah, having to fill your bath up with cold water and then sitting in there for 3 minutes and then. So I'm gonna try to see if there's any like places that do cold baths. Cold baths, I think, is a really good thing. Ramadan soon. You have any series in mind? A good idea. I haven't really kind of thought, but you're right. So, do you think if the syllabus isn't too altered, but the madrasa managed to produce proper thinkers and lifelong students, it's a good idea? Yeah, I think that is something which the main thing is. Look, why do you study a syllabus for? You study a syllabus because you want to be protectors of our tradition. That's what you want to be. You want to be preservers and protectors of the tradition. If you can produce people, so imagine like soldiers. Imagine there's a castle. There's going to have to be some people who are surrounding security. There's going to have to be some people who have weapons ready to shoot at anyone. There's going to be some people who are, taking care of it, cleaning the castle, maintaining it. So preservers of different levels. So similarly, preservers of ilm are different levels. You need to produce people that can fit every single category of preservers of ilm. Musa, I remember you invited Maulana Rizwan Mustafa on podcast once. He is very known for nikah stuff. Yeah. So he's got his own nikah company. Yeah, I think it's called Nikah or something. He's got my name on there as well. And he just asked me, can I have your name on this? I said, yeah, go on. Okay. If I purchase the course, do I get unlimited access? Yes, you get unlimited access to it. Inshallah. I mean, unlimited to whenever I'm alive. Inshallah. Right. So, how's all the American guys here? All the American guys good? Who's from America here besides Muhammad Prairie and Sharif? Where's Masir? Masir is not here today. Masir is usually. Also, when are you coming to Toronto to teach us in person? You know what? If you guys, I keep telling you guys this, you guys sort everything out, my invitation. Yeah. I will not take a penny to be paid. I don't care about being paid or not. But you just sort out everything, accommodation, flight, and everything, and food as well. And I will come. Yeah. Is that a deal? Yeah. So I love teaching. That's the thing. I love teaching. I love, I've got loads of courses and loads of ideas, things I can teach. But the only thing is that obviously I need people who are interested, who can organize it all. So if you can sort it out and get all that done, then inshallah, why not? I would come down for a week or maybe 10 days or so, whatever. Do like some courses, knock them out. I'm going to go to Pakistan in the summer holidays, inshallah. So I'm thinking maybe over there, if any of you guys in Pakistan want to set something up, have some courses, I don't mind. I will teach free of charge. No, take no money for it. Yeah, but you have to sort everything else out. Accommodation, food. Food is the most important thing. I like my food. Yeah. And inshallah, I will teach. Salam. Is the intro to Iftar class so far for online students too? Yes, that's for online students too. MashaAllah, you are great, brother. May Allah reward you. Do you do one-on-one classes by any chance? I do not do one-on-one. I only do them for the patrons. So I've got patrons. yeah, who support my channel on a monthly basis. So certain top tiers, I do like I think the really top tier is two classes a month, and then the ones below that are one class a month. You do, yeah, you get one lesson a month. الفود لازم to be good. عربي جيد. نعم صحيح. الفود لذيذ. Yeah, so I know I love teaching. Yeah, I love teaching. I've got like lots of courses on teaching. For example, my 4-part series on evolution of fiqh. So I've actually designed it all myself from the time of the Prophet Sallallahu Sahaba, Khulafa, Tabi'in, Taba Tabi'in. I go through the different developments of fiqh, how the madhabs came about. It's a very long course. It literally, I will need like literally 10 to 15 hours to teach it fully in detail. It's quite intense. And then you got like other courses as well, like a day with shaitan as well, a course I've designed for like an average day of how shaitan affects people, and also things like course on what else? Dreams as well, a whole course on the whole concept of dreams, interpretation, all that. And I don't know, I've got a few more like that I've designed myself from scratch. Those are kind of useful. कभी उर्दू में भी कोर्स करवाए ताकि उर्दू वालों का भी फायदा हो. Yeah, I mean, inshallah, why not? My Urdu isn't at the best level, but inshallah, I would be able to, inshallah, get through it. I think the only thing is that obviously there has to be people out there, and there has to be like so like a need for it as well. Because there's in Urdu there's a lot of work people are doing in Urdu anyway. In English, the kind of things that I'm doing, there isn't that much. But yeah, definitely, yeah, inshallah, I can do in Urdu and Pashto as well. Yeah, Urdu, Pashto, and English and Arabic. Yeah, these are the 4 languages, inshallah, that I can do. One lesson a month, a particular topic, or you can choose anything you want. Yeah, for those patrons who want to do one a month, then any topic they want to teach, that I can obviously teach that. Can't be something beyond my level. Canada will take you, but the USA will not. That is not cool at all. Inshallah. A day with shaitan sounds intriguing. Would this be suitable for everyone? Yes. Suitable for everyone. So it's the day with shaitan is designed basically like, have you ever heard of Talbis Iblis? It's like a modern understanding of Talbis Iblis in this time. But when Talbis Iblis was written, it was actually written for the ways shaitan gets people in like 400 years after the Prophet ﷺ. Every changing of era, living in the West, there's lots of ways shaitan kind of gets its tentacles inside of people's minds and hearts. So what are the kind of things that shaitan? So I'll go into things like media, how media affects people, how company, how other things as well. Yeah. Teak, inshallah. So yeah, definitely. Should we memorize all 37 sub families, or how many will suffice? Yeah, so I would say as long as you have as long as you've learned all the mujarrad, all the mazid, that should be sufficient. Having to go into rubai and khumasi, I think rubai and khumasi, you don't really need that much, because once you gain the concept of how sarf is structured, your brain will automatically fill in the gaps. So hit the like button, guys, if you haven't hit the like button, inshallah ta'ala, and I will inshallah have to get ijazah from you guys and go. Jazakumullah khair. Masir Ali, wa alaikum assalam, my brother. We're just talking about you, bro. What's going on? How's it going, my brother? How is it going? Where have you been? Why have you coming in the late? And that's my like Punjabi kind of English. Start. What's the best way to learn Arabic vocab? Best way is to do a lot of reading. Read stories. Yeah. So Zainab, read Arabic stories, and I've got my Arabic stories collection, which I'll share with you guys. Yeah, so Arabic stories, read and write. Seriously, I keep telling people this, and a lot of people say to me, you know what? No, I'll do it. And there's like some guys, I've been telling them for like ages, you know what? You need to seriously write Arabic. like write it. And if you want, send it to me, and if I get time, I can check it out, inshallah. Arabic books for reading. Yeah. So read and write as much as you can. Read Arabic novels, read Arabic newspapers, read Arabic magazines, and write as well. So like think this out. Okay, I'm gonna write down, let's say, I don't know, um, one page, 200 words on what my thoughts are on global warming. Now you'll probably find that hard, wouldn't you? You think, how am I gonna write about that? The vocab. So you're gonna have to. You're forced to learn the vocab for global warming. Yeah, and that will actually develop you in being able to research and being able to construct sentences. So don't choose an easy topic. Choose a bit of a tough topic. Yeah, and that's how you're gonna, inshallah, develop yourself. Assalamu alaikum, talib al-ilm, ahla wa sahlan. A question, please give some tips to teach Arabic, how to teach and how manage. Teaching Arabic, I would say this, look, the biggest problem people have when it's learning Arabic is that they have themselves never learnt a language. Most people have never learnt a language like in a classroom. They always pick it up as they're growing up. So you need to, first of all, design a syllabus which is designed for people who have not learnt a language before. So that's why I did with my Quranic Arabic 17 lessons. I designed it for people who have not learned before. Number two is you need to provide like exercises that are focused in developing certain skills. Yeah. So exercises are very important. And then number three is you need to show the student confidence in being able to read wider literature. I think if you do these three things, so design a course that is perfect. The best thing to, you know who to design courses for? The best thing to design courses for kids, little kids. How would you teach them? That is the way you're going to develop. And if you look classically, scholars who wrote some of the best books, they wrote it for their children. It's very strange, but you'll find this. So design the books, focused exercises, and wider literature reading. Najira, ahlan wa sahlan. How are we going to read Arabic novels when they don't have harakat? That's the thing. So you don't need harakat in the beginning. What you need is to develop your reading. So if you read a lot of Arabic, you just need to know what the words mean, and your mind will string the meanings together. So a lot of madrasa students are like drilled in their heads. Yeah, they're like drilled that they have to know all the harakat. You don't need to know all the harakat. Yeah, you'll pick it up as you go along, just like in English or in any language. The you never think of the harakat. Like you tell me, I don't know what language you probably speak at home, but for example, I speak Pashto, I speak Urdu, I speak English. I've never had to think, how do I pronounce this word? Like very rarely will I ever have to think how to pronounce this word, because you pick it up as you go along. You hear this word being said, and you say, "Oh, this is how it's said." Yeah, very few times will I ever have to say, "How is this word pronounced?" So that's the same thing, I would say, definitely. So don't be scared of this. Just attempt. Trust me, do it. Read one page of a novel like Harry Potter every day, and then after a month, you see how much you've developed, because a lot of the words are going to repeat themselves. يو هل أنت قرأت مقدمة خلدون من قبل؟ نعم، قرأت تقريبا نصفه. نعم. Most of the books don't have harakat. Yes. Is it sunnah to wear surma? It's considered to be like the Prophet ﷺ did used to wear it because the sand would go in his eyes. So in that sense, yes. But he used to wear like a red kind of one. So it's not considered something you just wear for no reason. You wear it if your sand is going to go in your eyes to clear out your eyes. Haraka ki baraka. MashaAllah. I like that one. I'm going to steal that one, bro. Let's see, that's it. Zainab Ustad, can you now scan Arabic text like how you can scan English text? Yes, I can do that. So I can just like flick through a book and just like quickly, like like you're just looking for like a special word or something, or a sentence or a phrase. I do that quite a lot. And that's nothing special to me. That's something I've developed over the years. But I'm sure you can do it, Zainab. Look, you just have to, no pain, no gain. Yeah, that's the main thing. So put the effort in, you're going to get it, inshallah. All of you guys who are learning Arabic, you just need to have confidence in yourself and just attempt it. Just have a cold shower, have a cold Arabic shower. Yeah, that's the thing. Cold Arabic shower and a cold real shower. مراد علي وعليكم السلام أهلا وسهلا مسيد علي كيف وجدت المقدمة هل نعم أنا عندما كنت قرأته يعني لم أكن يعني واعيا للموضوع التي يحتوي عليه الكتاب فلأجل هذا لم أستفد منه كثيرا نعم لكن الآن لو أنا قرأته الآن لاستفدت فيه منه كثير جدا نعم لأني الآن يعني لي تجربة للموضوعات التي يشتمل عليه الكتاب. I heard the sunnah of surma is to put it before going to sleep. Yeah. How does grammar help in reading books without i'rab? Grammar is basically to kind of help you not to make mistakes in translation. So a lot of grammar you don't need. Yeah, a lot of grammar you don't need. Helps my eyes relax. With Arabic, you gotta fake it till you make. That's a good one. Sounds a bit dodgy though. You gotta fake it till you make it. How to become a good public speaker? Just keep on speaking. It's just you gotta get rid of shyness. Honestly, I think confidence is the key. I be learning and feel like I don't know Arabic, but sometimes I get confident and realize I know more than I think. Yeah, seriously. What you'll find is, let me tell you a secret. Yeah, in learning Arabic, what you'll find is the more you push yourself in something that you find like kind of hard for yourself, the more you kind of feel those situations where you think, those kind of situations. That's when you're learning. It's like when you're doing weights and your muscles are hurting and you're thinking, I'll just stop there. No, carry on, and that's the point where your learning is kind of developing. I plan on reading the Muqaddimah next month. I wouldn't advise reading the Muqaddimah unless you just want to develop your Arabic, then read it. I would advise reading the Muqaddimah only if you know what the book is. Because the book is actually part of an 8-volume series. He's actually written an 8-volume series on history. And the Muqaddimah is the introduction to that. So a lot of people don't know this. Ibn Khaldun, he wrote this 8-volume book. And the Muqaddimah is the first volume. Yeah, but if you're going to read it for your Arabic development, definitely go for it. I would say it's doable, yeah. Why not? Ustad, when books don't have harakat, how do we read the books to learn Arabic with the help of a dictionary? Yeah, so what I would suggest is it's like, imagine there's a door in front of you and I give you a set of keys, yeah, about 20 keys, and you say open the door. You're going to have to test each key, isn't it? That's what happens when you're reading a text. When you're reading a text, it's like you have to test, okay, what does this word mean? Look in the dictionary. Okay, this is this. Okay, next one. Sometimes you don't have to look in the dictionary. Your mind automatically knows what the word is. Right? So you have to trust yourself. Trust me. You got to put faith in yourself and just go for it. Dictionary is your best friend while learning Arabic. This is very true. Assalamu alaikum. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam favorite color was red. Depends on different things. Yeah. In his clothing, he enjoyed red. Assalamu alaikum Irfan Sohail. Ahla wa sahlan. Ahla wa sahlan, my brother. Which Aqidah books did you study in Madrasa? Quite a. We studied Aqidah Tahawiyya. We studied Aqidah Nasafiyya, Fiqh Al-Akbar. What else? Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of the things when you study a lot of some parts of Sharh Al-Mawaqif, Ibn Kalam. Yeah. So when you study like the Quran has the Aqidah that you need, basically. A lot of people don't realize this. I keep saying to people, before you study Aqidah books, study the Quran cover to cover. So important as a Muslim. What other language would you say is the best to gain more knowledge after Arabic? I don't know. I mean, maybe Persian, maybe Urdu, there's like lots of stuff in Turkish, which I don't know. Do you have chocolates with your tea? Sometimes, yeah. There are Arabic books with and without harakat print. Which should I prefer to buy? So you can buy kids series, like little kids books, 3-year-old, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7. Get those and go through all the books, and they usually have harakat on them. Yeah, buy those. Getting ready for Jummah. I was eating my cereal. Alhamdulillah. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go now. We almost have Maghrib time here. So I'm gonna have to go for Maghrib. So I hope you guys have a wonderful week, guys. Inshallah, tomorrow I've got a talk tomorrow, and hopefully I should be back for the live stream. But if I'm not, then might have to postpone the live stream tomorrow. Might do a bit later on, maybe. We'll see, inshallah, how it goes. Wonder why Fiqh Akbar isn't ubiquitous in Madaris now. Yeah. What if you have troubles reading the Quran? Learn it. If you have trouble reading the Quran, learn it. You can get translation of the Quran. Start learning the translation with someone. Definitely. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Ahlan wa sallam masir. But we learn Nabi Pak sallallahu alaihi wasallam never wear red color, only just chadar have red lines. Yeah, so the red, this is what the hadith in the Shama'il it says. There's ikhtilaf of whether he wore pure red or lines in there. There's ikhtilaf of the scholars on this. Jazakallah khair, Zainab. All people ask questions, but Umran Bhai asks lots of questions, mashallah. Ahlan wa sallam. Today, Rona's not here. Rona Hakim's not here. Have you noticed? Rona Hakim is normally always asking loads of questions. So he normally beats Umran to all the questions. All right, guys. Take care, inshallah. I will see you guys next time. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.